Okay, I guess we're live. Cool. Um, so for this yoga video, which I have attempted to record a few times, but failed because my laptop didn't have enough storage, we're going to go through a whole vinyasa sequence. Um, I do have some other videos posted. They're old, they're not great, but it's all a practice, right? Just working on getting better. But for this one specifically, I have a yoga sequence designed around the Ninja Megazord as Power Rangers, like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie or Power Rangers Season 2. And to give you some context as to why I did this, you got to go back to 2009. Very good friends of mine from high school. We went to the Warp Tour and were wearing matching Power Rangers t-shirts. And just this year, celebrating my birthday, we all got together and updated the shirts to the Ninja Zord. So Blue Power Ranger is the wolf, and all the guys are wearing their shirts. So I'm looking around, I'm thinking, there's frog, there's gorilla, crane, bear. These are all yoga poses. So I thought it would be fun to design a sequence around that. And in the practice of, or in the spirit of practicing yoga live together, I have not practiced yoga today. I haven't even put my legs up the wall since coming home from work, which is something that I do daily. I feel like I have to at this point. Otherwise, my knees and feet just kind of hurt the next day. So we will start there, and then we'll come to the mat. The step, and then go through the sequence. This might take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. Feel free to leave, come back and check out other things in the video if you feel like it's helpful, or just keep looking elsewhere. I only do this because I wish to spread the practice of yoga, not only amongst my individual friends, but elsewhere in the community. And why not just put it on YouTube, see what happens. So let's get started with legs up the wall. So I'm gonna head over there. Any wall, any solid surface will do. So to get the legs up the wall, you start up against the side, come down to your knees. You kind of get your butt as close to the wall as possible. When your legs are up the wall, allow the spine to settle into the ground. Flex through the heels as if they're standing on the ceiling. Extend through the crown. Imagine that space between your ears and your collarbone lengthening, and push the hands against the wall. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. You can stay here for a few minutes. Sometimes I sit here for 10 minutes when I get home from work. It just helps to recirculate the blood that's been settling in your feet. Or if it's a day that you had some sugary snacks, it helps break up that glucose. It helps break up the iron that's settling in your feet. You can wiggle through the toes. And just relax.
Relax the face muscles, relax the jaw. And find some stillness. If your mind wanders, invite it back. Focus on the present, where you have nothing else to do but sit with your legs up the wall. It feels good. Just tune into the sounds around you, passing cars, the refrigerator. Just let those sensations pass you by. If you'd like to modify legs up the wall, rotate the soles of the feet in towards each other so the edges of the feet are up against the wall. And slowly lower down. Really feel that sciatic bone making contact with the ground. And lightly set the fingers upon the knees. Should be no tension in your jaw or in your face. Completely relax. Before we move on to the sequence, another option here. Starting with legs up the wall is a nice setup for doing shoulder stand, if you'd like to try that out. So your spine should feel pretty relaxed throughout, as if the entire spine, except for the cervical spine, is making contact. Fingertips lightly pressing into the wall. Start to slowly walk your feet up. Keep the gaze straight ahead as you slowly come up onto your shoulders. Maybe one foot, just to be thinking about this pose. Engage the core. Think pelvis forward, but think about stacking your joints. Shoulder, hip, knee, ankle. On an inhale, extend through both legs. And slowly come down. Legs up the wall. Number of ways to get out of this. You can just fall to one side, whichever is more comfortable. Or you can go into deaf man's pose, bringing the knees to the ears and rolling up out of it. So that's our legs up the wall.
Where was that thing? Ah, here we go. So to begin our sequence, you'll come to the mat. And this is true with any yoga practice. There's no rush. Take your time to get there. Maybe you don't have the liberty of taking all the time that you need and you need to just rush through a few poses. But I do invite you to create that space for yourself, as it just helps the natural flow of the practice. If you're really just taking your time to get there, taking your time with your breathing, being kind to yourself as far as your inner monologue, it really helps to establish a progressive practice, if you will. So like, you don't want it to become stagnant. Just taking your time, that helps. So if I don't have a glass of water, I might grab one later. If you wish to have a strap or some blocks or a glass of water, towel, whatever you may need, you can grab that now. But now we'll start. We will start this practice on our backs. And just take your time to get there. Slowly lowering down. Plop. Extending through the toes. And lowering onto the back. First, we'll just check in with the pulse and the breath. Taking the index of the jugular. Feel that heartbeat. The forever drum within your body. Place the right hand on the belly. And feel the breath. On inhale as your belly rises. Exhales, it caves in. Take a few cleansing breaths here. Deep inhale through the nose. A little bit more. Let it all out with a sigh. Two more breaths just like that. In through the nose. Hold it. Let it all out. Last time. Biggest inhale yet. Inhale. Inhale a little bit more. And let it all out with a sigh. Let the hands fall to either side. The ankles pop to either side. This is Shavasana, or corpse pose. Like to start and end practice here. Take a full body scan. Send your awareness to points of tension in the body, perhaps in the lower back, the knees. Give attention where it's due. Take a full body stretch. Lengthen through the arms, through the fingertips, and extend through the toes. One strong line of energy. Exhale, relax.
Extend through the right side only this time. Just getting longer through the right fingers and leg. Right toe. And relax. Inhale, left side. Exhale, relax. Lightly lift up the head, gazing down the midline of the body. Keep yourself centered, lined up with the mat. Checking in with the big toes. We're going to hug the right knee into the chest. Inhale, bring it in. Out to the right just slightly. Exhale, really hug it in. Few rounds of breath here. In general, inhales provide space and exhales allow you to deepen the stretch. Or in this case, bring it a little bit closer. Really feel the belly hug up against the thigh. And switch it up. Gaze down the midline. Inhale, bring that left knee in. Out to the side and hug it in tight. Enough there. Hug both knees into the chest. Bring the sockets, the eye sockets to the kneecaps. Lightly press, make a tight ball. And a full body stretch. Soles of the feet to the mat. Grab the knees with momentum, rolling upwards. We're going to find boat pose, introducing a little bit of ab workout here. This is boat pose. A lot of different ways you can get into this. You can extend the toes. You can bend the legs. Keeps the arms to the side. You can keep the arms in prayer, hands in prayer. Just engage the core here. Hold it for a few breaths. And exhale. Full body stretch one last time. Now with momentum, we're rolling up into a tabletop. However you wish to be there. So for tabletop pose, thinking stacked joints, hips above knees, elbows and shoulders above the wrists. Can't see it because I'm wearing this black shirt, but kind of a rotation happening. You're pressing the palms into the mat and the elbows flare forward. Real, like table legs, supported. Get yourself squared up. Soft neck. This is tabletop pose. Find some stillness. We'll go through a few rounds of cat and cow. On an inhale, drop the belly, leading with the chin, gaze forward. Exhale, cat pose. Reverse that shape. Lengthen through the spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat pose. As we're just getting our bodies warmed up here, really exaggerate these motions. It helps to think about what a cow looks like grazing in pasture, what a barn cat looks like stretching in the morning sun. A few more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Back to cow pose and cat. Find a neutral tabletop. Get into the joints a little bit here, making small circles with the body. Best visual I can give here is do the SpongeBob. Bring it around town. Kind of wakes up the joints a little bit, gets that synovial fluid popping. You start slow, maybe gain some speed, but again, remember there's no rush. This is your practice. Find your tabletop. Extend through the right foot, engaging the toes. Like a sprinter is about to jump off the block. Gaze forward, reach the left hand out. If you're going to shake a hand, then extend through the toes, bringing it off the mat. Think of that line of energy between the index finger and the big toe. Inhale, length. Exhale, elbow to knee and a crunch. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And back to tabletop. Give the right wrist a break. Perhaps placing it palm side up. Now to the other side. Extend that left leg, engaging in the toes. Gaze forward, right hand forward. Inhale, find that length. Exhale, crunch. Three more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And back to tabletop. I'll go to a plank. Engage the toes in the right and the left. Flare elbows forward. Extend through the crown. Exhale, lower all the way down, hugging the elbows into the rib cage. Pelvis, chest, knees, chin, all touching the ground. Inhale. Think about peeling the mat back and shining the heart forward for a little baby cobra. Introducing a little bit of back bend here. For tucking the toes, lifting up through the hips, pushing up through the hands, finding our downward facing dog. For this first inversion, you pedal out the feet. Again, taking that body scan and listening to the cues that your body is giving you. Where does it feel stiff? Perhaps you need to give the calves some attention, perhaps in the shoulders. You should feel equally supported in the hands and the feet in your downward facing dog. Strive to make this a resting position. Find some stillness. Remember to breathe. On your next exhale, bring the gaze forward. Slowly, with intention, walk the feet up to the hands. Arrive with length of the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Gaze back through the legs, perhaps grabbing opposite elbows. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. Think about scooping out the belly, really deepening that fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Slight bend in the knees. Rise it all the way up. Palms together. Hands to the side. Mountain pose. We now begin Sun Salutation A. Surya Namaskar A. First time through, we'll take it slow. Adding modifications, adding a little speed along the way. First, check in with your toes. Bring the toes up, wiggle them, and then lightly press them back into the mat. Don't lead forward into the toes or backwards into the heels, but imagine your feet fully pressing into the mat. Ankles together, knees together. Squeeze that midline in. Palms. The fingers can either be sealed or spread. It's really up to you. But think about flaring suns in each hand, flaring forward, relaxed shoulders, chin parallel to the mat. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Coming up onto the fingers. On an exhale, one step at a time, step it back into your plank pose. Slowly exhale, riding it down. Maybe you want to go back to your baby back bend, or you can find upward facing dog here. Flipping the toes, elbows into the rib cage, shine the heart forward. Inhale, back on the toes, downward facing dog. Few rounds of breath here. Gaze to the hands, walk it up to the hands. Ride with length. Lightly pressing onto the shins. If you think about the number 7, or just peeking over a cliff's edge, fold it in. Bend in the knees. Inhale, rise. Exhale, mountain pose. And that's one round of Sun A. Go through one more time. This time introducing wolf. Well, it's really just upward facing dog, but we'll do some ohms as a wolf's howl. And that'll be how we can honor the blue Ninja Ranger Zord. So on an inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, step it back to a plank. Slowly lower down. Upward facing dog. Staying here for 3 ohms. The sound of everything as a wolf's howl. Inhale. Oh. One more. Last time. Tuck the toes. Back to your downward facing dog. Gaze to the hands. So we're walking up. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Bend in the knees. Slightly rise. This time, introducing a twist. So, gaze up to the thumbs. Kind of rotate your fingers in. This is how I like to lead with twists, thinking about the whole body being a part of it. Rise up through the fingers, pointing through the index fingers, slowly rotating, taking a twist to the left. Keep the hips forward as best as you can. Remember to seal that midline. Inhale, rise it up, bring it back to center. Index fingers lead, right side twist. Back to center. Mountain pose. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Last time through. Side. Length in the spine. Exhale, kick it back to the plank. Lower it down. Downward facing dog. Next exhale. Walk it up to the hands. Right with length. Fold it in. Slowly rise. Now completed Surya Namaskar, a mountain pose. Next, we're going to come down to our knees. Maybe it's easier to face for this one. We're going to get into some frog legs here. This will just warm up the tendons around the groin. And perhaps this isn't accessible to you, so I'll show a modification after we go through frog. Now, you think about your tabletop, then bring the knees out past shoulder width, but still keep the ankles and the knees stacked on top of each other. We're just going to spread it out. The inner blades of the feet will make contact with the mat. The knees will make contact with the mat. Just slowly walk it out sideways until you can't go any further. Perhaps you walk it out with the hands, coming down to the elbows. This is frog. It's a real deep groin stretch you're going to feel there. I'll just hang out here for a while. Another option when you're getting back to the mountain during Sun A, perhaps you want to jump the feet up instead of walk. So holding a pose like this helps warm the legs up for doing that. If you don't want to feel any pain in the lower back, if that's the case. Or leading with the chin, leading with the chest. Finding some comfort here. So if this isn't accessible to you, you can also just do goddess squat. So to do that, you'll be standing, pointing the toes out. It's past 45-degree angle, but it's like you've opened up the hips. Your big toes are pointing towards the corners of the mat. Elbows above the knees, fingers pointing up, and come into a squat. And you feel that in that same spot. Perhaps you just squat and hold it here. Moving back and forth. Modification for frog. But for the purposes of this yoga sequence, this is how we will honor the Black Ninja Rangers or the frog. So we can head after that, come back to the top of the mat. Introducing Surya Namaskar B or Sun Salutation B. Get that midline resituated, ankles, knees together, stacked joints, hips forward, chin parallel, mountain pose. On an inhale, arms above the head. Exhale, sit down to a chair pose. Perhaps the palms spread apart. You point the pinkies in towards each other. Promote some length through the spine, but sit deeper in the chair. Check in with your toes. Your feet should feel as strong here as they do in mountain, if you can manage it. Hands heart center, fold it in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back to a plank, lower down. Upward facing dog. Inhale, upward facing dog. So this is where it'll change up a little bit. One side at a time. So an inhale, kick the back door out with the right foot. Down dog split. The heel doesn't have to touch on the left foot, but try not to lean forward on the toes. Shoulders square, hips square. Inhale, bring the right knee to the right elbow. Extend. Right knee to the chin or the crown or the third eye. Extend. Left elbow. Extend one last time. Bring the right foot up in between the hands. A little checkpoint I like to do here is the thumb is above the pinky and against the ring toe. Check down the midline of the body. Rotate that left foot back to about a 45, making contact. Feel solid support in both feet before rising up with the arms, finding warrior one. Make adjustments as you need. Perhaps bringing the right foot out a little bit provides a stronger foundation for you. Sink deep into that right bend of the knee, the bend of the right knee, and feel support like a bicycle kickstand in the left leg. Inhale, rise, palms forward, up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend. I know this is a Power Ranger sequence, but I'm going to switch up Japanese media references here. Like inhale, spirit bomb like Goku. Exhale, run like Naruto. One last time. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Bring the hands back to the feet. Rotate the left foot. Kick that right leg back. Exhale down. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. So checking in here, we've only done this on the right side. So perhaps the right leg feels a little looser, the left is a little stiff. But we'll balance it out. Inhale, find length, kick out the door with the left foot, knee to elbow. Extend, knee to chin or third eye. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Extend one last time. Step it up. Take that skeletal alignment. Rotate the right foot. Once you're supported in both feet and not before, rise it up where you want on the left side. Hips forward, chest forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Don't dump your weight onto your leg. Stay strong in that left leg. Had enough. Bring the hands back to the mat. Kick back to a plank. Take upward facing dog every time. Both the feet together and down dog. Feel that balance now. Hips have opened up a little bit. Relax the neck. Gaze to the hands. Walk it up. Inhale with length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bending in the knees. Coming back to our chair pose. If you have your hands at heart center, actively press the palms together. Thumbs against the sternum. Really try to straighten out the spine. Fold it in. Bend in the knees. Rise it up. Mountain pose. So that's Surya Namaskar, the sun salutation V. Next time through, add some twists. And take the option for those little froggy jumps if you wish. So inhale, rise. Exhale, sit in the chair. On proceeded twists, I always go to the right side first, but because the camera's over there, we'll go left this time. We're in the chair, thumbs against the sternum. Lead with the fingertips. We're tucking the right elbow on the outside of the left knee, and then bring those thumbs back to the sternum. Line up the middle fingers with the chin. Really sink into the feet. Perhaps bring the gaze above the left shoulder. You've had enough. Back to your center. And twist to the other side. Leading with its fingers. Really push that left elbow into the outside of the right knee. Keep the bum down. Gaze up above the right shoulder. Back to your center.
Inhale, forward fold. Or exhale, rather, sorry. You should, you do feel this in the calves and the hammies a little bit, but forward fold is really more about lengthening through the spine and being really relaxed. So you can do a generous little slight bend in the knee, scooping out that belly, and imagine the eyes just going all the way through the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step, or frog jump back. Ride that, exhale down. Upward facing dog. Inhale, downward facing dog. Open up the hips a little bit more here. Extend through the right leg. Flexing through the heel. Keeping the shoulders squared forward. Bring that right foot back as if you're planting it on the wall to the left. Try to keep the hips and hips and shoulders forward. Perhaps drawing circles in one direction, then the opposite. Extend. Knee to elbow. Extend. Knee to center. Inhale, extend. Exhale, left elbow. We're opening up a little bit now, so take a big step, softly land, rotate the left. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Fold it over. Inhale, rise. Fold it, really extend through those fingertips. Extend through the crown. Inhale, really stretch up, reach for the ceiling. Exhale, fold. This time, plant the left hand. Rotate the left foot, taking a simple twist. Heard it called simple twist, heard it called dragonfly. But really squeeze that midline. Checking in, look down the midline, gaze to that big toe, to your thumb, the thumb above you. Plant it, kick it back, ride the exhale down, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Left side now. Extend through the left on an inhale. Exhale, drop it over, planting that left foot on the wall to your right. Drawing circles in one direction, the opposite. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch it to the left elbow. Inhale, extend. Center. Inhale, extend. Exhale to the right. Now we're stepping back to warrior one on the left side. Get support in the feet. Inhale, rise. Extend through the palms. Exhale, extend through the fingers. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Plant the right hand. Rotate the right toes forward. Taking a simple twist on the other side now. Extend through the toes, pushing up through the palm, extending through the fingers. A lot of different angles happening here. But this pose, just like any other, try to find stillness. If you make adjustments, breathe through them, and then find stillness. You've had enough. Left palm comes back down. It's a plank pose.
Find your way back to downward facing dog.
Option to jump or just walk it up, honoring the frog. Inhale, gaze. Using your thumbs as targets, you want your pinky toes to land against the thumbs. Inhale, exhale, jump. Inhale with length, exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Maybe you're starting to sweat. Maybe your legs are starting to wobble. It's just your body getting stronger. Check in with the toes, relax the neck, fold it in, bend in the knees, mountain pose. And that's Sun Salutation B. This time through, we'll slightly modify the chair, include a toe stand, and introduce the Yellow Ranger Ninjazord, which is the bear. So, on an inhale, rise. Gaze to the thumbs. Bring the hands to heart center as you sit down into the chair. So from chair, kind of rock back and forth, heels to toes. Perhaps toe stand is just coming onto your toes, but try to stack the ankles above the toes. Make adjustments as you need. Toe stand here. Or perhaps you set the hands onto the knees. This is a great calf stretch. Be comfortable with where you're at. Find stillness. And back onto the heels, forward fold. Come back to the chair. This time, reaching the arms out in front. If you're hugging a big tree, this is bear pose. Look up to the beehive. Look down to the roots of the tree. Option here, if you wish, to revisit that toe stand. For 3, 2, 1, and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump it back. Find our way to down facing dog. This time, take a little bit of a wider stance. For me, it's outer edges of the feet are right in line with the edge of the mat. Don't lock the knees, keep a little bend. Slowly start to walk the hands back towards the feet until you're able to reach back and grab the opposite ankle. So with the right hand, grab the outer edge, the left leg, for a twist. Look up and back, pass through the armpit. And switch it out. Other side. Grab onto that ankle, leading with the chin, gazing past the right armpit. Walk the hands back towards the front of the mat, bringing the heels back together. Down dog split. Option for crunches to the right, center, and left if you wish. But we're making our way back to warrior one. Inhale, extend. Exhale, warrior one. We'll only be here for a moment. Rotate the toes forward. Pointing through the fingers. Bringing the arms out to a T. Frame the foot. Set it back. Exhale, upward facing dog. Inhale, downward facing dog. You can do that same twist again. Or perhaps you're going to take a child's pose here, which is always an option. If you ever wish to take child's pose, bring the ankles, toes together, knees, and just fall into yourself, bringing the forehead down to the mat, extending through the palms, finding stillness. At any point in any practice, this resting position is available to you. If you're still with me, you take those twists one last time. Walk the hands back, left to right. See if you can't twist a little deeper this time. Bring it back. And opposite side. Walking it back to our downward facing dog. Inhale, extend. Exhale, left knee, left elbow to the center, to the right, and back to warrior one on the left side. For a moment, rotate the toes, thinking about that low runner's lunge. Bringing arms to a T. Now we're doing this because it helps us to think about Warrior 3, which we're not going to do yet, but this is a nice preparatory pose to get into Warrior 3. Had enough, palms down, take it back to the plank. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. It's like, I just did a cleansing breath, but let's do 3 cleansing breaths. Deep inhale through the nose. A little bit more. Exhale, let it all out. 2 more just like that. In through the nose. Let it all out. In through the nose. A little bit more. Exhale. Bring it back to the top of the mat. Step or jump. Right with length. Exhale, fold. Bring it into the chair. Check in with the toes. Fold it in. Bend in the knees. Slowly rise. And mountain pose. One last time. This time we'll introduce Gorilla, which will be a way to honor the Red Ranger Zord, which was the ape. So for Gorilla, you're going to be standing on your hands. So I'll face forward for this one. But we'll start it just like our other Surya Namaskar A. I'm sorry, Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, rise. Exhale, chair. Gaze down to the toes. You're going to bend to the knees. Plant the palms. Don't fall forward. Bring palms under the toes. You think about your halfway lift here, how it really stretches out the shoulders. You got your thighs up against your belly, but don't keep that tension in the neck. Let the neck kind of hang heavy. With control, bring the gaze up. You're just going to step it up and down a few times. Maybe walk it to the left. And back to the right. Gets us back into those groin tendons, back into the hips, but also opens up our shoulders. Inhale, length. Exhale, release the hands. Gorilla pose. So slowly walk back up to the front of the mat here. Continuing on with our Sun B. Inhale, length. Exhale, chair. Take those twists one more time. Point through to the right side, hook the left elbow, the outside of the right knee. And feel that you can get to this stretch with a little more ease now. Your body's warmed up. Back through center. Step it out to the side. Really keep those thumbs against the sternum. Gaze up over the left shoulder. Back through center. fold. Exhale, relax. Halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. These movements are a little more familiar now. So move through it a little bit faster. Inhale, extend. Going straight to warrior one. Rise it up. Leading with the fingers and the gaze. Coming into warrior two. Rotate this left foot so it's parallel to the back side of the mat. Bending in the knees. The arm is your sword, pointing it forward. Warrior two. Check in with the toes. Check in with the fingertips on both sides. Relax the shoulders. Flip the palm. Reverse warrior. Crunching in the obliques on the left, opening up the right side body. Extended side ankle comes next. Right palm into the right hip. Extending through the left fingertips, through the left foot. It's burning here in the thigh. Come up for a moment if you need. Back to it. Inhale, rise through the right fingers. If you're too wide, perhaps you walk this left foot in a little bit. Sky Archer. Stand forward. Now rotate the left toes in, maybe just 10 degrees, to that left hip pop out. Drop it all the way down, triangle pose. Straight lines from fingertips through the fingertips. Inhale, hands to heart center. Rotate the hips forward, back to our warrior one. And drop the palms. Step it back to the plank. Find our way back to downward facing dog. Left side this time. Inhale, extend. Exhale, warrior one. Strong support in the feet. Check in with the fingers. Warrior two on the left side. Really feel it's like your body is extending outwards and upwards and down. Out through the feet, out through the hands, up through the crown. Gaze over the left fingers. Warrior two. Flip the palm. Reverse warrior. Feel that left side body open up. Exhale, extended side angle. Left hand into left hip. Find Sky Archer. Looking up to the left fingers. Walking that right foot in if you need. Gaze through the fingertip. Rotate that right foot in. Right hip pops back and out. Triangle pose on the other side. Inhale, hands to heart center. Rotate it back for warrior one. Plant the hands, step it back, plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Gaze to the thumbs. Back to the top of the mat. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit in the chair. Thumbs against the sternum. Slowly fold it back in. Bend in the knees. Rise it all the way up. Mountain pose. I'm just going to grab some water. I'll be right back. Gotta love a small apartment. Another thing to remember, don't chug a bunch of water when you need it, when a sip will do. Or just a couple sips. We'll find ourselves back at the top of the mat. Ah, yeah, the pink power. It's easiest to get into it from the yoga squat, so we'll start there. At the begin, Sun B, mountain pose, actively standing, extending through the crown, rooting through the feet, palms forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands heart center to a chair. Step the feet out. Really sink in. Elbows pushing into the inner knees on either side. It's our yoga squat. Now plant the hands in front of you. Bring it up. We're just gonna do it's like our cat and cow sequence, but from the yoga squat. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squat. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squat. Inhale, plant the hands. Heel toe the feet back together. Sealing that midline. Now plant the hands. You're creating a little shelf for your knees with your chest and your armpits. Now I'm still working on this. It's easier for me to get my knees up to the armpits, but perhaps you're able to just keep that midline sealed and lean forward. So if you're like me, let the knees come out a little bit, resting into the armpits. And you just lean forward. Look forward. Perhaps the feet come up off the mat. Forearm stretch. Stay relaxed in the neck. Had enough, come back down. Exhale, fold. That's how we've honored the crane Power Rangers sword. Inhale with length. Exhale, jump it back. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Inhale, extend. Exhale, straight to warrior two this time. Rotating the arms through, gaze over the right fingers into the left. First your warrior. Extended side angle. Rise up through that left knee, finding sky archer. This time, draw an arrow from your quiver, knock it into your bow, shooting your arrow of light. Plant the hands to either side of the right foot, getting us into our low runner's lunge. And this is where we will honor the last Ninja Ranger Zord, the Falcon Zord, is the White Ranger. And this is the Zord that gives the Ninja Zord flight. So considering wolf, frog, bear, crane, and gorilla, the Zord is built, but now we'll take flight. So you're kind of leaning forward in both toes. Let's rock it back and forth a little bit. Maybe you want to drop your left knee first. Feel real support in the hands and the feet here. Slowly rise it up, extending through the left. This finds us in warrior three. Extend through the crown, through the left toes. To modify warrior three, finding falcon, you're bringing the palms forward so they seal like a falcon's beak. Gaze forward. Had enough. If you fall out of it, maybe try to get back into it. But if you're just off balance, listen to your body. Hands to heart center. Bring up the left knee. This is pillar. And plant the left foot. Shake it out. Find our way back to downward facing dog. So fold it in. Inhale with length. Exhale, step back. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Inhale, extend. Exhale, warrior two. Extending out through the arms, up through the crown. Relaxed shoulders. First, your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, rise. Sky archer. Drawing your arrow of light. Pulling back on the bow. Exploding, falling to the ground. Low runner's lunge. Gaze forward. Really dig into those toes on the right side. Perhaps dropping the knee for a moment. Step it up. Warrior three. Take flight. Bring the wings, the falcon, into a beak. Gazing forward. Hands heart center. Rise that right foot up to pillar. And seal it. Step it out. Rise it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back to plank. Find your way back to downward facing dog. It's all a slow down from here. Check in with the breath. Revisit that body scan. See if those points of tension have resolved. If not, send your awareness back that way. Really get into those calves. Relaxing the neck. Perhaps even stretching out the jaw. Find some stillness. Slowly walk back to the top of the mat. Find length in the spine. Exhale, fold. Into the knees. Chair pose. Gaze down. Fold. The knees. Rise it all the way up. Mountain pose. Honor your body here. Feel the blood flow, feel the sweat. Take some neck circles in the opposite direction. We'll do a few seated twists before moving on to Shavasana. Gaze down, midline of the body. Slight bend in the knees. Slowly lower down onto one knee. Before you're onto both knees. Sit on the thighs. Check in. Go to rabbit pose first. This is somewhat like child's pose. Come up onto the knees. You're gonna grab onto the ankles, but on the inside. So it opens up the heart. You sit down on your thighs, grabbing onto the ankles. Leading with the chin. But don't dump the weight into your head, but your head will lightly press into the mat. Slow, intentional breaths. Bring the palms to either side of the face, push up, back. Not thinking about it too much, just bring the feet out in front of you. So if you were with us at the beginning, for legs up the wall, we'll now do staff pose. Now, the way I like to do legs up the wall, you likely pressing your hands up into the wall. That's going to be staff pose here. So it's very active. You're extending through the feet, you're pushing through the palms, but relaxing through the shoulders at the same time. Erect spine, Exhale, relax. Right sole of the foot. This is the outer side of the left leg. I think we were hugging our knees earlier. Relax. Get those sit bones engaged, supporting the mat. Rise up through the left hand. Take that twist. Left elbow to the outside of the knee. Right hand supports in the back. Just take a few rounds of breath here. Checking in with the pulse. Feel it slow down. Enough. Take a soft counter twist before finding staff pose once again. Extend through the heels. See if you can't trick your body into thinking you're doing legs up the wall from right here. Relax. Sole of the left foot comes down to the mat. Hug it in. Plant it to the outside of the right leg. Inhale, rise through the right arm. Comes to the left elbow to left knee. Left hand kickstand. Seated twist on the other side. Had enough. Counter twist. Bring it back to the center. The legs flop to either side for a bit. Bringing the soles of the feet together. Shine the chest forward. And revisit those tendons in the groin. Plant good sit bones. Butterfly the legs a little bit. Take those neck circles. Now, if there's any last pose that we didn't get to, perhaps you want to take a pigeon or do some bridge, finding a back bend. We're just going to prepare ourselves for Shavasana. As we started, taking your time to get there, slowly lowering all the way down. I like to do Death Man's pose for whatever reason. I just think it feels good to curl yourself all the way up and then let yourself extend and rest. So check in with the midline of the body. Plant the soles of the feet. Let the spine make contact first. Be relaxed. And start to roll the knees back. Just feel that cervical space. That's never going to make contact unless there's a spinal injury. But
Kick the knees back. And death man's pose. Thought I kicked that candle over. That's why I was so startled. Try that one more time. Plant the soles of the feet. Hands out to the side. Roll it back to lift the momentum. With control, with grace. Plant the knees. Rolling up into a little ball. Tuck the toes. Maybe extend the legs out into a cloud pose. One leg at a time. Find that full body stretch. Extend through the fingertips, extend through the toes. And now let it all wash away. Bring the arms out to the sides. Let the heels just fall to either side. Relax in the face. Close the eyes. And corpse pose. Shavasana. In this time, the mind will wander. Maybe it goes back to what happened earlier this morning or something that happened 10 years ago. Don't dwell on it. Just try to let it pass. Keep the fidgets to a minimum. And just think about the breathing. Think of nothing but the breathing. If you're not comfortable, make any adjustments now to get comfortable. This is rest. This is a way for the body to integrate all of the stretching that we've done. Find rest. Allow the tongue to fall from the roof of the mouth. Allow the jaw to relax. Allow the shoulders to relax. Let your body melt into your mat. Rest. Allow the next inhale to be a little deeper. The next exhale to be more complete. Slowly, intentionally reintroduce movement, wiggling the fingers and toes, rotating the ankles, knees, wrists, and elbows. Just begin to wake yourself up. Take a little full body stretch before falling onto fetal position on your favorite side. This Shavasana, corpse pose, signifies the death of this practice. Fetal position represents rebirth, the new you. Take this time to honor your body, perhaps holding on to yourself, patting yourself on the back, giving yourself some love. This body is strong, this body is capable. Again, slowly, intentionally, using the hands, keeping the eyes closed if you wish. Come up to a seated position. Engage the sit bones. Cross legs, extend through the crown. On an inhale, rise the arms above the head. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Let the palms fall open onto the knees in a gesture of receiving. The light within me recognizes, receives, and reflects the light within each and every one of you. Thank you for sharing this practice with me. I would like to dedicate this practice to friendship. And by doing so, I wish to honor the love and respect and understanding that comes from shared experiences over time. I hope that this practice was at least enjoyable to you. I have enjoyed sharing it. Until next time, then, have a good night.